DML. So data definition language. DML stands for data manipulation language. We are using sub languages DDL, DML, host language is SQL. DBMS accepts that request and analyzes. So here we are sending request from end user to DBMS. This request accept and analyze it. Okay. So acceptance, after that we have to analyze what type of request it is, whether it is a DDL request or DML request. So analyze and inspects. So what type of schema it is, whether it is mapping, conceptual external mapping, or physical or conceptual mapping. So all this it has to inspect. So this is the role of database management system software. DBMS executes the necessary operations on the stored database. What are the operations on the database? These operations executed by database management system software. So here memory we are representing in terms of bytes, kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes, petabytes, exabytes, zettabytes, yottabytes. So that I defined here. So 1 kilobyte equal to 1024 bytes. 1 megabyte equal to 1024 kilobytes. 1 gigabyte, or we can say billion bytes, BB, or we can say gigantic. Okay. So every word is same, gigabyte or billion bytes. So every word is same. So don't confuse. So 1 terabyte equal to 1024 gigabytes. 1 petabyte equal to 1024 petabytes. 1 exabyte equal to 1024 petabytes. 1 zettabyte equal to 1024 exabytes. 1 yottabyte equal to 1024 zettabytes. So here I explained earlier. So we are going to discuss about data definition, data manipulation, optimization and execution, data security and integrity, data recovery and concurrency, data dictionary, performance. Okay. So first we will go to the data definition by using DDL, data definition language. DBMS able to accept all the data definitions. So external schemas, conceptual schemas, internal schemas, all this acceptance from database management system. We have to convert into database objects. So here we are defining an external schema in human understandable language. And this we are converting into database objects in terms of tables, relations. Okay, these are all called database objects. So here what is the role of DDL? DDL processor. So or DDL compiler. So DDL processor or DDL compiler. Data definition, we are defining data definition language, definitions and declarations using DDL. DBMS must also understand the DDL definitions. So it understands, suppose example we are taking employee stored record, it understands employee, stored fields, stored file, stored records, and all these things. How it can understand? this data definition language compiler breaks the code into machine language code. So this can understand by the database management system software. Okay. So see here. So what is the role of DDL? So data definition language, we are going to create database or schema or tables or mappings in the database. These commands are used to create like tables, like schemas, indexes in the database for the first time. So they create the structure of the database, that is the format, table format. So here what is the role of DDL compiler? So DBMS must understand whatever the definition you define through DDL data definition language. This part of the database is responsible for processing the DDL commands. This compiler actually breaks down the command into machine understandable codes. It is also responsible for storing the metadata information like table name, space, how much space used by it, number of columns in it, and the mapping information. All this information we have to define at the time of creating table. At the same time, it has to understand by DDL compiler. So try to understand what is a DDL compiler. Next important thing is DML compiler. Okay. So here DML compiler means DML processor. Here, okay. What type of requests accepted by the DML compiler or processor? So we have two types of requests. One is planned, another one is unplanned. Okay. So try to understand planned requests and unplanned requests. Okay. The DBMS requests may be planned or unplanned. All these requests processed by, we are forwarding through the DBMS software forwards through DML processor. So with the help of optimizer under the control of runtime manager, we are executing the planned and unplanned requests. Okay. So now we will see what is a planned request. Okay. So planned request is one which the need was foreseen in advance of the time at which the request is made. So normally we have a student table and we have a plan, what type of data we have to access and what type of condition, which condition we are going to make. If suppose I want to access the student data, those who are having grade greater than 70%. Okay. So here we have a plan. So we want to access the data greater than 70. This is called planned request. So here with planned request, this database management system is efficient in their performance. Okay. So it shows the efficiency and good performance for planned requests. An unplanned request, it is a ad hoc query. Ad hoc query, or it is an update. Suddenly update came. Suddenly we want to add the data to the existing data. Even initially we don't have any plan. Okay. In these types of situations, the request we can call it as unplanned. So here the physical database design might or might not be well suited for the specific request under consideration. Okay. So this is unplanned request. Now what is the execution process here? Planned requests and unplanned requests. Okay. So planned requests are characteristics of operational or production applications. Unplanned requests are characteristics of decision support applications. So these are the examples. So here, how these requests are executed. The requests from DML, planned or unplanned, must be processed by the optimizer. Here you see, processed by the optimizer. Must be processed by the optimizer. Optimizer component. The purpose is to determine an efficient way of implementing the request. Why? We are processing the DML requests through optimizer. That means to determine an efficient way of implementing the request. Optimization we will discuss in later chapters more and more. Optimized requests are then executed under the control of runtime manager. Okay. So this process the requests from DML to improve the performance of DBMS, or it is an efficient way for implementing DML requests. Okay. So it improves the performance with under execution of under the control of runtime manager. The optimized requests are then executed under the control of runtime manager. So this runtime manager probably invoke data from the database storage or storage manager to access stored data. So here we want to discuss about file manager. In coming classes we will discuss about file manager also. So see the process, planned and unplanned requests. Okay, we are executing and processed through optimizer. Optimizer executes all the requests under the control of runtime manager. This runtime manager invokes the storage manager. It invokes the data from the stored manager. So I try to understand all these components, how these are linked. Okay. Now come to the next point, data security and integrity. So in so many times we discuss data security. We are using some security constraints and integrity constraints to protect data from unauthorized access. If anybody violate the security constraints, the request will not be accepted. Okay, that we can say the DBMS or some subsystem invoked by the DBMS must monitor user requests and reject any attempt to violate the security and integrity constraints defined by the defined by the database administrator. It is also the responsibility of database administrator. Data recovery and concurrency. So the difference between file systems and DBMS, we discussed so many differences. So here recovery is the main advantage of database management system. We have a backup in database management system. If there is a we are losing some suppose we lost some data in database management system, you can access easily through backup. Okay, so data backup and recovery is the main advantage of database management system. And concurrency means multiple users can access the data at the same time. Parallel execution, parallel processing, we can say. This is called concurrency. So DBMS, more likely another software related component called transaction manager. Here you have to discuss about transaction manager. Transaction is nothing but a logic unit of work. So example, TP monitor you can take, that is transaction processing monitor. So this TP monitor always monitor all the transactions every minute, every second. Example, you can take banking system, ATM transactions and online transactions. Every transactions we are performing all the transactions at the same time. They have to commit their transactions, and every time they have to update their data in bank database. Okay, so here number of transactions. Example, you can take ATM. Every minute the user is, every second the user access the ATM. Okay, so these all transactions must commit by the database management system. If any problem occurs, then that, suppose we went to the ATM center, so we faced the transaction failure problem, but you didn't get money. So because there is no money, it is not able to dispense cash. So but the amount is debited. So immediately you will receive a message. Okay. So within 24 hours you will get back your money. That means we are going to roll back the transaction and roll back the same amount, debited amount, to credit into your account. Okay. So that we can call it as a recovery. Okay. And data dictionary, very important. So data dictionary here, metadata. Here data, we define data in structured format, tables, and we are assigning some student name, and we have to describe what is the name of the student, what type of data type, how many bytes of memory is required, okay, how much space we are giving. So everything, data about data we are defining here. So that data we can call it as a metadata, or another name we can call it as a descriptors. Okay, another name we can call it as a descriptors. Description about the existing data defined in database, and the relations also you have to describe here. If suppose you are applying some integrity constraints, what type of constraints you are applying here, you have to explain. Every part of the data, every data about data, you must explain in the database design, and you must describe using. Okay, that's why it is called descriptor. So here you see this metadata is connected to the component optimizer, component DML. Okay, and this metadata is connected to the DDL compiler. Okay, so this overall control of the processing and the functions of these components controlled by the database administrator. Okay, here you can see the advantages. It enforces the security and integrity constraints, because we want to provide security for our data. Okay, so we are applying security and data integrity constraints. So here we are describing what type of security constraints we will apply. So, and what type of integrity constraints, kinds of integrity constraints, everything described in data dictionary. Okay, so this is the components and important components we discussed here: DDL compiler, DML compiler, DDL processor or DML processor, and planned requests and unplanned requests. Okay, optimizer, runtime manager.